Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to ask you exactly what you see on the thumbnail. Do you share your food with your pups? Now, if you've watched any of my videos, then you all know I have two pups. And I do treat them within um, a reasonability. I treat them like they are my children because I do share a lot with them. I share my food with them. I share my bed with them. I share my living space with them. That being said, I do not eat off the same fork as my pups. I don't, you know, drink out of the same cup as my pups. I do, however, share a vast amount of my food with my pups. So I'm just wondering, am I the only one? I don't think so, because a lot of people across the Facebook spectrum show pictures of their dogs on their bed, on their couch. I've seen memes that say, if I come to your house, put the dog up, and the response to that is, no, the dog lives here, you don't. We like the dog, we don't know about you. So things of that nature. So, how far are you willing to take that? I love my dog. How far are you willing to take that? I see my dog as my baby. Because let me tell you, I take it to the extreme. I take it to the extreme. My pups are my babies. And if they're in trouble, I'm panicked. If they're panicked, I want to know why. If anything's, I see them like I would see the average 3-year old. If if they seem to be out of sorts, I want to know why. If they're upset, I want to know why. And I want to fix whatever is making them upset, whatever is making them unhappy. Like my baby girl, she gets extremely nervous when there is uh, a noise she's unfamiliar with. So if she hears a lawnmower or she hears a car backfire, she's not happy with firecrackers. I've found that I can give her a very low dosage of THC in edible form in a piece of candy, a 1-to-1, which is a one strand of THC to CBD, and that will calm her right down, helps her sleep on the nights of like 4th of July or New Year's or, the holidays where you expect to get a lot of background firecracker noise, and those kind of things make her nervous. Now, she will alert to people, but she's not vicious. So she will alert to people. New people make her a little skittish. I have warned people, that don't walk up on her, but I don't take her into the public. I don't expose her or my other rups to the public. I don't want them socialized because if somebody tries to come in my house that I don't want in my house, I don't want them being friendly with strangers. So to me, I don't know about everybody else, but to me, that is a common misconception that you should socialize your dog, let them be friendly with people. Nah, no, no, ma'am, no, sir. I do not want my pups to welcome people into my house, and they read me like I read them. So we read each other like a book. And this is why I take moments to bond with them over food, over treats, over those things. And I have to be careful the words I say because they are listening. So, that being said, how far do you take the whole "you keep my baby" concept? Like, it's funny. I see these memes that come across Facebook, and it shows a picture of a baby's foot, and it says, "This is my friend's baby picture," and then you'll see a picture of a puppy foot, and this is my baby's foot, and it's cute. I mean, I have thought about all of that. I'm like, yep, that's me. I'm the puppy. Now, don't get me wrong. I have grown children, so I understand both ends of that spectrum. But my pups get a lot of attention because my children are grown. However, I still have some of those grown kids living at home. So that being said, my rups get quite a bit of attention. The boys take them out to go potty. They run around the backyard. They have absolute freedom of the backyard. We do not put them on leashes because our backyard is fenced in. However, we don't allow them out the front door unless they have their harness and leash on. And that's if we're escorting them to the car. I don't walk them around the neighborhood. I don't, I don't try to intentionally socialize my pups. And that's just a personal preference. If you want to socialize your dog, I'm not telling you not to, because the title of this is, "Do you share your food?" And so that's what I want to know. Like, if you're sitting up there and you're eating a plate of food and your dog comes up, do they get some? Or do you make them wait till you're done and then scrape your plate in their bowl? Or do you not give them human food at all? I mean, some people don't give their dogs human food at all because they're worried about the digestive issues, and they worry about things of that nature. And some people raw feed, and some people cook food, and some people don't give their dog chicken bones, and some people won't give their dogs chocolate, and some people go by very strict rules about they've read on the internet or heard on the internet, or whatever. Now, me personally, my little rups have been getting chicken bones since they were old enough to chew. I give them a little bit of chocolate here and there. I've given them, I've given them all kinds of stuff because I look at it like this: wolves and dogs and animals in the wild do not have humans telling them what they can and can't eat. They have the teeth and the capacity to eat what they want. And though in the wild they may not get chocolate or other, you know, candy items, can't say things too loud. Even though they're sleeping, if you say those magic words, they're all like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh." So, they know. And I've read that dogs have the mental capacity of a human 3-year-old child. And I tend to believe that. Um, at least two to four, somewhere in that range, because I know what mine can do, and I know that mine knows certain words, and I know that mine understands certain things, and I know some dogs can be taught, commands in Russian and English and Chinese, and so all these different things I know dogs can be taught, and so it's not a far fetched thought to think, oh, excuse me, that these dogs might you know have the capability of understanding somewhat of a conversation. Now, I know they're animals and they don't understand full on conversations. And something else I've always told my kids is never forget a pit bull is a pit bull. And that could apply to people as well as dogs, because you never want to forget when somebody shows you who they are, pay attention. But you never want to forget that a pup is a pup, because as humanized as we like to make them sometimes with that bond and that relationship, they still need to understand their role in the family. Their role in the family is to be loved and cherished and to be protected by us. And then sometimes their role is to love and cherish and protect us. Now, I will never intentionally put my dog in a situation, either one of them. Again, I have two if you watch my videos. I will never intentionally put them in a situation where they could get hurt. And so I do my best to not to. So, that being said, when I feed them certain things that I know most people think they're not supposed to have, I don't feed them a ton of it. Like, oh, don't ever give your dog a chicken bone because it can splinter. Well, I mean, hell, that could be true with any. Have you ever seen the sharp edges on a pork chop bone? You know, so let's chill our thoughts. Now, again, I don't give them a ton of, like, if we're sitting around eating a bucket of Lee's chicken, then of course I will give them a piece here and a piece there. Most of the bones do get trashed or thrown out in the backyard. Depending, I will sometimes throw a handful in the backyard for the wild animals, but again, I don't want any wild animals to end up hurt either, so I'm selective about the bones I throw out to the backyard. But that being said, um, it doesn't matter what kind of bones you feed your pupperoonies. You don't want them to have a stomach full of bone. That can't be healthy for any animal. So when I do feed bones, it's few and far between. Mostly, my dogs are so spoiled. They generally get more than just a bone. They will normally, when I order pizza, they each get their own slice, or if it's a big enough slice, I'll cut it in half. But if they're smaller, then they each get their own. We have a Sunday continental type breakfast when we do our Sunday morning service. So we'll have like a donut, or we'll have some kind of treat type breakfast for our Sunday service. We'll have something to go with our coffee. This Sunday we had donuts. Each of them got they each got a chocolate donut, and then they each got a powdered sugar donut. So before y'all freak out, I give them chocolate all the time. Now I don't give it to them in mass grows. Don't get me wrong, but like if you've ever seen the bag of donuts, then you know how big a bag of donut is. So they get basically they're getting a small donut, and it's really just a bite. So, but that being said, I've given them chocolate chip cookies. I've given them Oreo cookies. I gotta watch that word because they know the word cookie. But anyway, so basically this morning I had grits, eggs, and cheese for breakfast, and they got their grits, eggs, and cheese. Um, Whenever I go out to eat, if I go to a buffet that has chicken, then I will save the skin. Like a lot of times we go to Golden Corral um, on Friday. Yeah, it's on Fridays. We do Fridays, and we go get the early bird at Golden Corral, and I will take the silverware out of the out of the paper sleeve, and I'll save my paper sleeve because I'll take the skin and fat off my chicken and roll it up and put it in that sleeve, and I bring it right home to the pups. So I do when I go out. I think about them, and I'll bring them little treats home. Uh, they know that word. But when I go out, I'm constantly thinking about. I love my dogs. If you've seen my videos, you know baby girl sleeps with me, and baby boy sleeps with the boys. And she and I love our nighttime bedtime routine because it's a bonding thing for us. And uh, she gets her little peppermint. I give them peppermints all day long. They love. I don't know if I can call one out without waking them up, but they love these. They love these, and they know the sound of the wrapper too. So I have to be careful because they'll come right over. But I absolutely love sharing with them. Again, I understand their dogs, so we don't eat off the same fork because, trust me, I know where that tongue's been, uh, kind of thing. But I do give him a kiss on the nose, like, I'll grab my little pupper's nose, and I'll pull him in and right on his nose. Um, but I don't. I'm not a whole let's mouth kiss or you know I know where the tongue's been. I'm not crazy. Again, I understand they are pups. So, but um, now I've never shared any of my drinks with them. I have never taken it that far, and they really don't beg for stuff in a cup. Um, Now I do have an ice maker that sits on my kitchen table, and a lot of times my ice looks like this. If you can see it, this is the ice that my ice maker makes on the and it sits on the kitchen table. That being said, if I don't get it, and this is a Golden Corral cup right here, because that's where we go. Like I said on Friday. But anyway, a lot of times the ice tray gets full, and I don't get a chance to dump it because I don't use it that fast. And so I will dump the ice right in their water bowl. So they have constant fresh water, they have constant cool water, and they have constant ice water. And I've heard people say, "Oh, you're not supposed to give dogs ice water." My dogs eat ice. So, you know, and they're fine. They are fine as can be, they're healthy as can be. So don't believe everything you hear and see, read, and people tell you. Because I will tell you this: not every child is alike. Like not every child is allergic to honey or peanut butter. Not every dog is the same. Now, again, I don't suggest you do anything with your dog that I do with mine, and I don't suggest I don't suggest you do anything. The question of the day is do you share your food with your pups? And I do, and that's a resounding yes with me. And also, do you share your bed with your dogs? How far do you go with your dogs? Do you take a bath with them? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I would take a bath with mine if they got in the tub with me, but they don't. They don't even want to come in and be in the bathroom when I'm in the tub. They don't. That they're not swimming ready dogs. They don't have a care in the world about being in the bathtub. As a matter of fact, when they're outside, if they get too rowdy, I will take the hose and spray it in their direction, not at them, but they'll see the water and they'll run inside. So, they don't have an interest in. Now they do take a bath, and once they're in the bath and they see the water's nice and warm and things, they're fine. But they won't hop right in with me. But that being said, I'm not above taking a bath with them. I would definitely, because my shower head comes down, I would definitely pull the plug. I wouldn't actually bath with them, but I'd get in the tub with them, and I'd wash them off and scrub them, and that's what my son does when he baths them. He gets in with them, bathes them, and his full-on clothes. It's funny because he'll come out here soaking wet, and he'll dump everything in the laundry room, and then he'll take his towel and shoot back there and take a shower. But I would. I mean, I'm not above those kind of things. And like I said, if you've seen my other videos, then you know I like to make candles. For my baby girl, because she is my baby, and that's her name, um, I would set candles around the tub on the sink. We would have a candlelit tub. I'm telling you, I would. But that's me and my baby girl, and I've had baby girl for 6 years, a little over 6 years, and so we have a bond out of this world. And then Rups, we've had coming up on a year. We got both of them years apart, but they were both. She was 6 weeks old when I got her. He was 6 weeks old when I got him, and so I am not above sharing. my food with them, my candy with them, my cookies with them. Gotta watch the words I say because they know them words. But I'm not about sharing with them. I will share with them, and if it's something that I think would hurt them, then I would give them just enough to taste it, but not really enough to hit their stomach. So if you know what I mean, like you might take a taste of, if you want to taste the sauce, you got to put it on your tongue and get a taste of it, but you don't really get enough to hit your stomach, kind of thing. So I would do that with them if I thought it was something that was going to hurt them, but I haven't really come across anything that would hurt them. But I'm going to wrap this up because I see my time is running out. So I do these in 25-minute increments, in case anybody was wondering. But that being said, yes, my answer to the question of would you share food with your dog is a resounding yes, and or your bed. I would share my bed too because I do. I share both. So all right, guys, we'll wrap this one up. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like what you see, then give it a thumbs down and let me know why either way in the comments. Yeah, let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, I mean, we're all entitled to our opinions, right? All right, love you with the love of the Lord and see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day, and thanks for stopping by.